Hello and welcome to episode. Welcome to episode 61 of the Chronicles of Nidum, run by us here at Dice of the Beholder, and streamed through Heavyweight Gaming. I've given up insulting him now. It's just
it doesn't seem to affect him.
No effect whatsoever. In fact, it's probably going to get worse. So if I stop reacting, it might get better. But yes, welcome. Everyone in the chat seems pretty eager to get into tonight's episode. But you're going to have to bear with me a moment because, as always, first, a word from our sponsors. First of all, continuing to sponsor us is Loki Battlemats, an amazing award-winning UK-based TTRPG accessory creator. There are many books of battle mats, little, big, and giant sizes are full of amazing artwork that add an awesome backdrop to any tabletop game. If you are interested, the link is in chat now. Pop over to lokibattlemats.com to find out more or search for them on Facebook. And they also do some amazing pay what you want on drive-through RPG. So please go there and check those out and chuck a little bit of cash their way if you can. Our second sponsor of the evening, returning good friends of ours, Blink Dog Dice, a small dice maker based in Cardiff. You can find amazing examples of their work available on the link in chat on their Etsy store. Blink Dog Dice is all one word. You can find them on most social media platforms. Please go show them some love. And again, tell them we sent you. Right, AD, if you want to bring everyone else on the screen. Though, obviously, we've got Greg there as well. I don't know why.
I'm just observing. I'm like a
spectator.
No, like an inspector, like a school inspector. You know, like when you were a kid and sometimes you had an inspector show up and all your teachers got really serious for like one day.
Nah, it's because Sepsis is just going to reappear and realise they've made a mistake.
It's like the one day of the year when none of your teachers called you a bastard in class.
Okay.
Or maybe that's just a me experience.
I think that's just you.
So, without further ado, last time on the Chronicles of Nidum.
Nothing important happened.
No
Carry on with the game.
In the beginning of the last week, Sepsis narrowly survived an encounter with a hag.
Who?
Looting, after finally killing the hag and looting their shop, they returned to the train in time to try and get a good night's rest and finish reading their book. They were joined by a very drunk Oriana, who were then met by two very worried companions, Ace and Dice, who had been there babysitting the body of Fives, now transforming, changing into something else. Oriana drunkenly decided to engage in a
menage a trois
sexual adventure with two attractive acquaintances. Sepsis decided on sleep, and Dice deciding on tinkering and taking their mind off the day's events. And going to visit the humans and finding out they had a new nickname among their human, the human population on the train. It was the next day, after conveying to Dice everything about the working of the train, how the carriages were attached and detached from it, and sketching out a pretty detailed plan of exactly what all of the controls did, that Sepsis completed his reading, or their reading, sorry, of the Book of Vile Darkness. Coursing with new necromantic power, Sepsis's victory was short-lived. When the train began to slow, and Sepsis and only Sepsis could sense from up ahead of them a very familiar, very powerful energy bearing down on the train. It was then that they all heard a loud voice in their mind. A great and powerful, impossibly powerful force had sent an Empyrean after them. after sepsis, after the book that was now in their possession. And it was at this point, realizing that there was very little hope in staying, that sepsis, without a goodbye, left his friends. Their friends.
What session is this? 61?
6, yep. I
Doesn't
don't have to do
matter
it anymore.
Yeah,
Yep.
no.
So,
You can just misgender Ace and that's it.
it is at this moment then, is where we left you. Sepsis having just disappeared. Oriana, Ace, 1, and the body of 5s in the carriage, with Dice running up the train carriage to look for Natasha, and the Empyrean outside, their stomping footsteps bearing down on the carriage you are in.
So are they in the train or?
They are outside the train. They're too
Right.
big. They would be too big to be in the train.
Can I fit out the window?
Well, at the moment, from what Sepsis described, and Sepsis saw through the eyes of Worm in the last session, they are on the other side of the train. So you'd have to step out into the corridor and then look out the window of the corridor on one side of the train.
But a bitch can fly.
You can. So you can go out the other window, the window of your compartment if you want to.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I just realised
So
I
you-
didn't have my dice tray out, sorry.
It's fine. So you open the window and spread your wings and...
Yep, I fly so
Fly
I'm
up.
stood on top of the train.
Okay.
And can I see it now?
As you fly up then into the night sky, landing gracefully on the train, I want you to roll me a perception check, please.
I just got my dice out. 8.
Okay. 8. That's fine.
My passive is like 12, I
yeah,
think.
I was
and
gonna
if
say.
I mean, if it's like as you're describing this like 15-foot.
I will go with your passive instead then. As you get to or land on the top of the train then, you can see movement off to the left and off to the right. The right is much further down the train from the human slave carriages and the storage compartment at the back. From the left, the movement is as far away as the first class would be by your reckoning of how long the train is. You can't quite make it out. There seem to be figures moving away from the train in the darkness, but it's slightly too far out of your dark vision for you to make any more detail. About 50 foot away from the train, standing there, now using your eyes, instead of it being described to you by Sepsis through the eyes of Worm, you can see maybe 10, 11 feet tall, insanely wide, huge muscles, but a bruise of damaged flesh. There stands this perfect humanoid form, as if they were carved out of stone and the gods breathed flesh into this statue. They stand there with a cruel smirk on their face.
I try to get his attention.
How would you like to try and get his attention? He's currently ranging the train, looking up and down the train.
Just wave.
He's just gonna wave.
Excuse me.
Okay. As you begin to wave, then you see his attention drawn to you, but then it's immediately drawn away from you, as into the light, or the dim light being cast from the lights of your compartment, you see Elven Inquisitors step into your line of sight. They take out their strange, unstringed bows that you've seen previously, and you can see the arcane energy start to form into an arrow as they level
No,
their weapons at
stop.
him.
I just shout stop at them. Don't piss it off.
Roll me a persuasion check.
16.
16. Okay. They stay still, a couple of them looking back at you. They do not release their arrows. But even as they look at you now, two of them turn their bows on you with your wings spread, standing atop the train.
My disguise self is down.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fly with disguise self up, so just give me a moment.
You hear a booming voice carry across the landscape. I would listen to her if I were you. It would be such a waste.
As entertaining as it would be to watch him destroy you, please.
Okay. One of them ignores you and looses an arrow at him. You see his hand at his side, and then in the blink of an eye, you see it not catch the bolt of eldritch energy coming from the bow, but slap it out of the air so it sails past his head. In another blink of an eye, he has made the 20 feet, grabs the elf that fired the eldritch blast. And then the last you see of this elf is him hurtling towards you at the speed of an arrow himself. He impacts the side of the train a few carriages away. Dice, as you're running up the train looking for Natasha, the wall in front of you explodes. And left behind as the explosion settles, you see a hole in a wall and a broken elf laying on the floor of the corridor in front of you.
He's got more bones now.
Can I hear Oriana outside?
You can hear Oriana shouting, but it's from quite a distance now. You'd have to roll a perception check if you wanted to hear actual words.
I'm going to roll the perception check.
Okay.
As far as Dice is concerned, then Ori's doing something brave but stupid. But I don't know the whole story. Perception, 11. Almost as good as Ori's.
Okay. Unfortunately, you can hear perfectly the words of the Empyrean. Oriana, you recognize her voice, but it's the words all blend into one, carried by the wind.
Okay, can I fit out of the hole the elf just appeared through?
You can.
Okay, I'm gonna spider climb my way out and up onto the roof of the train to see what the hell's going on.
Okay. From your distance then, looking from a completely different angle, you can also see in front of you there are 4 Elven Inquisitors. Slightly further off in the distance, you can see maybe another 2 that have approached from the rear of the train. The Empyrean is much closer to them now. The 4 he is near have lowered their bows, and you can see standing on top of the train, maybe 2-3 carriages away, is Oriana.
I will start to jog as automaton form, although confusing one who can apparently climb walls. I'm going to jog down to Oriana.
Dice.
Yeah.
You hear a voice in your head.
Yeah, hi, hello.
It's Vizier.
Oh.
Keep going.
Sorry?
Do not return. Keep going.
Keep going where? To where?
The engine.
What? Are we doing this now?
If you can get the train moving, I have an idea.
All right. Is Oriana towards the front of the train or the back of the train? Am I running in the right direction?
Oriana is towards the back of the train. You run towards first class to look for Natasha.
So I'm going to turn around, take a couple of steps towards Oriana, hear this, wave to Oriana, turn around and jog the other direction down the train. You've got this. You realize this is insane, don't you, as I'm jogging?
You beckoned for me, demon.
Yes, the thing you're looking for is a book.
You
Am I
have
right?
it.
I don't. The person who does fled as soon as they heard you. A teleportation spell of some form, but I can tell you who they are.
It matters not who they are. Did they leave the book?
They didn't. Look, you may not care who they are, but the information might come handy for you. Their name is Sepsis, they're Yuan-Ti, and they're obsessed with power.
It matters not. It just will take longer to find them. And in the end, it will hurt more. I do not like to run.
Is there a way I can call you?
You will not have the chance. The one who sent me has noticed you and your friends.
In a good way or a bad way?
You are a frustration.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
You do not stop, merely delay the inevitable.
Isn't that the whole point of living?
No.
Are we free to go?
I'm sorry, but you have caused my master a delay too many times.
How?
You wish to live.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that cannot be allowed.
Why?
For any of you.
Why?
Who am I to know the mind of a god?
Then you don't talk to your god often enough.
I do listen when he deigns to speak.
But you do not question.
No.
And how do you know your god has the answers?
I am alive at his will.
Aren't we all?
Not this one. I am sorry, demon, but my prey gets further away from me with each passing moment, and you are, again, causing a delay.
Be on your way. Killing us will only delay you further.
It will not take long.
I don't look at the album guards. I'm like, all right, go for it.
Okay. As this is happening, dice. Legging it up the train, the amount of time that conversation took is a good few rounds. So I'm going to assume you're using your entire action to dash.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are places to be.
You leg it up the train as fast as you can, and you get to the engine carriage.
How do I get in?
You know from the description Sepsis gave you, of the door on the side. And getting to the door, you find it slightly ajar, and you can hear the sound of a disturbance inside. Impacts. And as you get in, you see 3 goblins sprawled on the floor, the last one falling as you enter, seemingly asleep. The last one, you can see blood welling on his chest, the blood dripping from, as it now comes into your sight, as the invisibility fails, an imp. A very familiar imp.
Is it worm? Like, do I recognize it as worm, not creature?
It looks like creature.
No,
It's
I've
the
never
last
seen
is-
creature. Sepsis
Okay.
made sure we never saw creature because worm was
We'd recognize it as well.
a worm. So
Then
we
yes,
never
it is worm.
Worm?
And though you've never seen it before, there is a look or a hint of sadness in Worm's eyes as he waves at you and then blinks out of existence. All the goblins are laying there on the floor snoring. You can still hear the conversation going off in the distance.
Process that later. Okay. Vizier, what am I doing? What do you need me to do? You said get it moving. Moving how fast? What do you want me to do?
Forward at full speed. Tell me when. Let me know when it starts.
Don't leave any carriages behind. Got it. I will start prodding buttons, as Dice would know how to do, and I definitely do not.
Okay. So you start prodding buttons as Sepsis explained to you.
Yeah.
The train powers up. All you got to do is press one button forward or one crystal, and the train will begin to move at full speed.
I make it dramatic and do that to the crystal.
Okay. And the train begins to move. I did ask that you let me know.
You know. Do whatever you need to do.
Okay. Ori.
Yep.
A few things happen in quick succession as you're staring at the Empyrean who reaches forward to grab another one of the Elven Inquisitors. The train begins to move beneath your feet. The elves, seeing the Empyrean move, turn to start to make their way back towards the train, and you can see their eyes widen as even they notice the train, slowly at first, start to pull away from them. The window below you, in front, on the side of the train, facing the Empyrean, explodes outwards, and you see Fives' form flying through the air towards the Empyrean.
Maybe that body's just suicidal.
You can hear Fives chanting in a strange voice that sounds nothing like Fives did. And then suddenly, roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, Jesus. Oh. 19.
19. You do not recognize the words of the spell as they are in a language that is foreign to you. It sounds more like machine noise than words. However, as soon as the spell activates and is created, you recognize a spell that you yourself cannot yet perform, as you see a wall of force start to ring the Empyrean. The Empyrean, with an Elven Inquisitor in his hand, is halted. He cannot move as he begins to try and push through the wall of force. And you start to get further and further away. You hear a voice in your head. Thank you, Oriana, for gifting me your friend's body. I will put it to good use. Please tell Dice, though I cannot speak to her as she is too distant now while I concentrate on this spell, that it is great hope of mine that we see each other again soon.
Reuse, reduce, recycle. Can she hear me back?
Zia,
Yeah.
you can try and speak in your head if you want.
Okay. Yeah, bye.
Okay.
There's a lot
And
going on.
you see Fives hovering there in the air, standing just in front of the Empyrean, as the wall of force starts to not buckle, but you see the magical energy start to fade over time. And for a moment, it does seem like the train is not going to get far enough away before the spell fails. But finally, the light around Fives, the light around the Empyrean, the light of the Empyrean's portal is left behind in the darkness as the train starts to round a corner in one of the valleys. And it picks up speed and hurtles off into the night.
It's me on the roof. I tried to get back down into the train if I can drop down between carriages and
You can.
get in. And then head to the front of the train where I've got a good idea of what's happening.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Standing in the engine room, the goblins sitting around you or laying around you snore themselves awake and start to rouse from the floor, holding like small puncture wounds. Who are you?
I just turn around and make like a really metallic squeak with my helmet against my neck as I turn,
Mm-hmm.
then just walk out. Like,
Wow, we need to slow down. We're going too fast. What happened? What was that thing? It's the last thing you hear as you leave the engine room. Okay. Ori, as you're rushing forward then, many people, more and more, the further you travel, start to make their way out of their compartment and start to clog up the corridor as they're speaking to each other, trying to find out what's wrong.
A fucking tiefling walks past.
Are you still full tiefling?
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. As you continue on up the corridor then, roll me a perception check.
That was a nat 1. So 3.
Okay. As you are walking up the corridor then,
I'm paying 0 attention to anyone.
wings wrapped around yourself to protect them from like jostling through people. You're about to move into the forward carriage near the engine room when you feel a hand on your arm grip you and stop you from walking. You turn and stare into the face of an inquisitor. There are 2 more standing behind him.
Can I help you?
We were not told there was a tiefling of your caliber on board.
And are you told everything about everyone on board this train?
Yes, we are the Inquisition. It kind of says so in the name.
That must be exhausting for you.
No, there are many of us. Please, we would like to ask you some questions, if you are come with us.
I don't think so. And I'm going to cast Charm Person on how many of them are there?
3.
3. I will cast it at whatever level I need to get the 3 of them with it.
Okay.
It's level 4.
Okay.
So they need to do a wisdom saving throw, the 3 of them.
Okay. So, 3 wisdom saving throws. And let me get the Inquisitor stat block up. There we
Just
go.
don't want to deal with fucking elves.
Okay. It's going to be an 8 from the one that grabbed you.
So that's a fail.
It's going to be a 9
Yeah, that fails.
from the second one. And a 16 from the
Which
third.
fails.
They all fail.
They all fail.
What's your DC now?
Well, the wisdom save is 18.
Fuck, okay. Yeah, so, right. Yes, so they all kind of, they shake their head slightly blearily and see you again as if seeing you for the first time. And they all begin to smile dopily. And we are very sorry. Were we keeping you?
No, but if you could make sure that nobody else bothers me for the rest of this train journey,
Of course.
that would be wonderful.
Whatever you say. And they kind of turn around and form like a wall between you and the rest of the travelers. You're going to carry on forward?
Yeah.
Okay. As you carry on forward then, Dice, you're making your way through the corridor and you both open the door slightly too hard, slamming the sliding door as you both grab it at exactly the same time. And you are facing each other.
As a bonus action, I would like to shriek with alarm.
Bang! Okay.
Hey! Oh, hi! What happened with the big fella? Is Sepsis okay?
Oh god, Sepsis is gone.
Sepsis is dead.
No, there was a don't come looking for me and poof, they were gone. The big thing, Vizier kind of stayed behind to deal with.
Vizier can take on something of that size.
Well, they seem to be able to stop it, as in physically stop it from moving. Enough time for us to get away. They did say they hope to see you again soon.
Let's sincerely hope that... damn it, I'm not going to be able to understand Elvish again now. Not that that's the point of all this. I know. But
I said I'll teach you. I keep telling you I'll teach you.
We got a couple of weeks left on this train. Maybe that would be a good way to start.
Oh, about that. The Inquisitors know I'm a full tiefling.
Do they?
Yeah, well, there's 3 back there who are currently charmed, but that's only going to last about an hour.
So we should kill them.
I could ask them to forget that they ever saw me. But that would... they'd know they'd be charmed afterwards.
Yeah, it's not going to work. We should
No,
probably...
but 3 dead Inquisitors on the train seems like a bad idea.
There's 3? Is there not more than that? I think there's...
I mean, there is, but there's 3 that know, and apparently they know everyone on here, so they knew there was no full tiefling on the train.
Well, I was going to say there's 12, but there's actually 11, because there was that one that got thrown through the side of the train and appeared at my feet as a jelly with chunks.
And sadly, I can't ask them to do anything that would hurt them. Or each other.
I mean, at some point we were going to kill them anyway, as part of the plan. Natasha was going to take care of them.
Okay, but before you do that, can we be starting to walk back towards them with this?
Yeah, of course.
So once we reach them, just wanted to say, oh, gentlemen.
We?
Could you just disarm each other and leave all your weapons to the side?
Oh, of course. And they kind of start stripping, and you can see like they take daggers and their swords and the strange...
And any armor.
They're not really wearing armor. Most of them are wearing kind of like maybe at best very finely made studded leather, and they all kind of put their stringless bows down.
Oh, and if you could just follow me to a quiet carriage.
Oui, of course. And they start to smile, kind of being asked to follow you to a quiet carriage. If it is...
Wait, there's a quiet carriage on this train? I wish I'd known.
There is a quiet carriage.
One of my few true passions in life is the quiet carriage.
Yep, no mobile phones, no radios, nothing.
No screaming children.
But you get, they kind of, if we were to go further forward, we can use our carriage. Well, there are only the 3 of us, and perhaps some at the back, but there is no one there now. And you know that the only carriage forward of this is the private first class that was inhabited by the Inquisitor.
As I look at Dice and go, shall we go there?
Sure. That sounds like a great idea.
Okay. On the way, I'm going to send a quick message to Natasha to tell us where to meet us to get there as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And Ace.
Okay.
2 sendings.
You send the message to Natasha. And the response from Natasha is, you may have to deal with them without me. I have found a potential problem in the human carriages. I will be with you shortly.
Okay, so Natasha's running a little late.
That's okay.
It doesn't take too long, but you are then shown into by the 3 Inquisitors into the Inquisitors into the first class compartment. They close the door behind them.
And I guess, are we killing them? Have we got to kill them?
Pardon?
Talking to myself.
Okay.
Would I know about Charmed that as soon as they're hit and take damage, would it have an effect on Charmed?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to cast Mirror Image.
You're going to cast Mirror Image.
I'm going to cast Mirror Image.
Okay, cool. Right.
I am prepping up for a fight.
For the benefit of people in chat, then, can you please describe the effects of Mirror Image? Or say what the spell does.
Mirror Image. 3 illusory duplicates of yourself appear in your space. Until the spell ends, the duplicates move with you and mimic your actions, shifting position, so it's impossible to track which image is real. You can use your action to dismiss them. Why anyone would, I don't know. Each time a creature targets you with an attack during the spell's duration, roll a d20 to determine whether the attack instead targets one of your duplicates.
Okay.
So.
I really wish I had sleep.
Yeah, I really don't.
Ben's 6 when you need him.
They're too tough for sleep. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sleeps.
I mean, they're not very wise.
It's not a wisdom save. It's
No.
based on hit points. I'd be surprised if you got one of them.
In the wrong freaking armor for this.
It's your suggestion. I was just going to leave them and ask them to forget about me. Although they would still remember me afterwards.
You're very memorable.
Gonna hit one of them in the back with lightning launcher. Or in the face, if they're facing me. I'm gonna hit one of them with lightning.
Okay. Okay.
This train.
Yeah.
It's in between sort of first class and the front of the train and then the rest of the train.
Mm-hmm.
Why did it have to be a middle compartment?
Right, we've only got one immovable rod left anyway.
That wasn't my plan. No.
I thought this was forward of first class. I thought this was the last one before the engine compartment.
It is. Sorry, it is the last one before the engine compartment. Yes.
Still
Yeah.
enough middle
Greg
but
is right.
cause problems.
Hmm.
So you're going to hit.
Can I see if there's any other Inquisitors in the carriage? Are they now all Inquisitors in this carriage?
As far as you can tell, in the large compartment that you're in, it is just you and 3 of them. There is no one else inside. By your count as well, there were 12 Inquisitors, or 12 lower strung Inquisitors that got on the train. You saw 2 approach from the rear, approach the Empyrean outside. You saw 5 approach from the front, one of which was thrown through the wall of the train.
Did the others get back on the train?
As far as you can tell, one was picked up by the Empyrean
So
and
that's
trapped in the wall
5.
of
We've
force.
got 3. So that's 8. So there's another 4 unaccounted for.
Which we believe are in the storage compartment.
Mhm.
Right. So let's just get rid of these 3.
That was
Okay.
Dice's thinking, yes.
Roll to hit then, Mel.
All right.
As I set up a different bloody map. Hang on. Oh, I don't need to take my headset off.
No, you don't.
Hey.
This is great.
You can still hear us. Ian's just sent.
Is there any way that they could be stood up against the outer wall of the carriage?
Only if you told them that before I tried to hit them, but it's a bit late now.
Yeah, because I could have hit them with Thunderwave and fired them out the side of the carriage.
We've got to stop breaking the train. One day it's just going to fall apart. We're just going to leave like bits of train along the route and have to walk to Paris.
Yeah, sadly, Stu, you can't ask them to do anything that would cause them harm, or as it breaks the charm.
You could ask them to just get off the train.
The train's moving.
Eh.
I think they're aware that if they jumped off a moving train, that it would kill them.
You'd probably have the. Well, I don't think it would kill them. I don't know how fast this train goes. This is like this is like medieval train shit.
I did contemplate like tying them up and leaving them locked away somewhere, but that many of them, the chance of them being able to untie themselves, also, witnesses. Oh God, we've all turned into sepsis.
No, we're just doing what has to be done.
That's what sepsis would say.
Well, anyone belonging to for the chat's benefit, and Dice's logic, Dice doesn't have a great deal of fondness for anyone who works with the Inquisitor, so this does not bother me.
Okay.
Or he just liked having slaves for a little bit, or people
AD,
would
if you
follow.
can bring up the map for us.
Not slaves.
Okay.
In combat mode, excellent.
So surprise round, Dice.
Yeah, I rolled a 28 to hit.
28 to hit. Which one are you trying to hit? The one directly in front of you?
At least they're disarmed.
The one directly in front of me. Yeah, they've got no weapons.
Cool.
One directly
All right,
in front.
go for it.
That is going to be... No, hang on. I'm sure I had an extra thing. There's a bonus action to do with lightning launcher. I don't know if it's disappeared. Hang on. Because once per round you can... Yeah, here we go. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with it, you can deal an extra 1d6 lightning damage to that target. So, The first one was a 6, so that's 12, 13, plus the extra 6, so 14, 15, 16, 17 damage.
17 damage.
Lightning launcher.
Okay. And Ori? Surprise round?
Oh God. What did I have free? I've got this free. Let's have a look. It's going to be a Scorcher.
Scorching Ray, yeah?
Yeah. So I need a dexterity save from one of them. Not when dice is already hit.
Okay. Okay, that is going to be that's going to be an 18.
That is the save.
Okay, so they do save. Do they take half damage?
They do take half damage. If I can find my other D8. Well, actually, I say my other D8. I need 5 of them.
You want me to bring you a little D8 delivery, babe?
No, I got my box out.
Oh, I was excited to take you for a date.
I was going to say, live on the internet during a D&D session.
She's got a box. She's always just getting her box out. This is why I don't take her anywhere anymore. That and the, worldwide panorama. Yeah.
It's getting hot in here.
So get your box out.
So get your box out.
It's 25, so it'll be half of that.
25, okay. So 12 damage. And as those two then are shocked out of their shocked out of their charm.
The one is still charmed.
Yeah.
Can I quickly shout to him, defend me?
Put him in danger, I don't know.
It would, but he's going to take a hit before he wakes up from charmed.
Hang on. 2 seconds then. While I'm doing this, roll initiative.
Okay,
Should I roll for Ace?
Ace isn't there.
No, but they're on their way, aren't they? Because
they are. So you can roll for Ace if you like.
Yeah.
Rich, my initiative's 9. Bucky is whining. Do everyone else's actions and I'll catch up. I'll watch it on the stream.
With your initiative, Mel, yeah. This is fine. That's fine. I don't need to fudge anything.
Ace got a 4. Solid 4.
Ace got a 4. Okay.
Support, guys. 21.
21?
Lost the D8 that matches my dark purple set. That's annoying.
Okay. Yeah, so the one is still charmed. Well, it regards you as a friendly acquaintance. So it also regards its companions as
fair enough.
So it doesn't make any move to listen to you, but it does seem shocked at your actions.
Surely a persuasion roll is in order.
Yeah, okay. You can roll persuasion if you want. Just know that the DC is very high.
It's alright, Charlie's plus to persuasion is very high.
20?
20?
Yeah. Nah, I didn't think so.
Okay, so, sorry, what was your initiative, Charles?
21.
21. And Aces was a solid 4. Okay. Cool. So... Hang on.
Mountain came back in.
I do apologize. Go the D&D Beyond is having an issue. Love you, D&D Beyond. You're great. There we go. Boom. Oriana.
Yes.
It's your go.
Okay. So their armor class hasn't dropped at all because they didn't have any armor.
Well, they were wearing like a full suit of studded leather, but having them, take that off.
They were stripped to their undies.
Did they?
I told them to take off any armor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they've stripped to their undies then.
Cool. Not that many of mine rely on beating their AC.
Okay.
I do.
I'm happy to help. Let's go with the chromatic orb. This one does rely on a DC.
I know they're assholes, but I feel kind of bad beating up a bunch of 3 naked elves.
27 hit.
27 definitely hits.
So I'm going to throw fire at them.
Cool. You're already ringed in flame from the scorching ray.
Yeah, from the scorcher. What am I looking at here?
It's got a flaming ring again.
4d8s. 1, 2.
Yeah, too many jalapenos on a Subway. Sorry, I'm in Neath. I should have said jalapenos. It's the official pronunciation.
Egg! Trying to count. I have to roll that again. 22 points of damage.
22 points of damage.
Yes.
To the one you hit previously, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And cool.
How big is the effect on? I'm talking to myself now, don't worry.
And is that the end of your go?
Yeah, nobody needs healing, so yeah.
Cool. Okay. The one that you've hit then, as he finally shrugs off the last remnants of the charm spell, turns to you with hatred in his eyes. And without any weapons or armor, instead decides to trace arcane symbols in the air in front of him.
A counterspell.
Okay.
I can see that he's trying to cast a spell. I counterspell.
Okay.
It's like, bitch, that looks like magic. No.
Okay. Counterspell at what level, please?
3rd level.
Okay. So. There we go. Okay, you're casting it at 3rd level, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to need you to make an ability check using your spellcasting modifier, which is +6. So roll me a d20 +6 to try and counter his spell, as it is a couple of levels above yours.
Nat 20.
Yeah.
That'll do it. And as he starts to utter in Elvish, and you can understand the spell, as he starts to utter the spell to banish you, the
No.
words finish, the spell is released, and the energy just sputters and dies.
You know, it happens to a lot of guys. It's nothing to worry about.
That's my goddamn.
Probably under a lot of stress right now.
The bonus action cutting words or something.
Oh, if only.
Okay, so, cool. That's your reaction. The one that you have not hit stands there at this point, calling in Shalem Elvish for everyone to remain calm and stop fighting.
Guys, please.
We are all friends here. What is happening? What is going on? I do not understand. Why are you attacking my friends? I thought we were stripping off to have some rumpy-pumpy. What is going on?
I fucking love D&D.
Waste their turn. The one that dice hit.
This might be my favorite combat ever.
Goes next. There we go. And bum, 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 bum.
Hello. Sorry.
Right, you've turned up just in time. I think Bro's about to banish you.
Yeah, I can't counterspell again. I've got to wait till next time.
Banish me to where? You can't. There's no other place.
To banishment.
I should point out I am now out to 3rd level spells.
No, if I get banished, I get banished.
You've got sorcery points, so that can turn into spells.
That's true. I've still got, plenty.
Yeah,
I've got all of my first actually.
You have 4th level, don't you?
I've got 5th.
Nice. It's very cool and sexy.
I've got all of my 5th, all my 1st, most of my 2nd. But I'm one left in 4th. I have technically got 6th, 7th, and 8th, but that's only fireball.
I mean, this might be a good opportunity.
No.
He is going to reach out both of his hands towards you.
Reach out and touch faith.
And is going to cast Eldritch Blast.
At me?
Yes. Dice at you.
I'm gonna try.
And give me a second.
We find out the dice also learned how to counterspell.
You don't counterspell a cantrip, that's such a waste.
Okay, so that is going to be a 21.
Yeah, it hits a duplicate.
It's going to be a 22.
It hits a duplicate.
And the 3rd bolt.
Oh, hang on. I didn't roll for the second one. Sorry. Well, the second one was an actual 20, so that hits a duplicate too. The 3rd one might actually hit me.
And the 3rd bolt is a 25.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, so that hits.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 out of 3.
So the
So
3rd
all these
Eldritch
elves are
bolt
having performance issues.
hits you. As the Eldritch Blast hits you, you do feel a surge of agonizing pain as the magic makes its way through your armor and touches flesh. You take...
Reach out and touch flesh.
A second. So, you take 14 points of force damage.
Okay.
Dice.
Yeah, so the guy who just hit me with that, I'm kind of pissed at him.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to cast... No, I don't know if that'll work. Oh, fuck it, why not? Can I have a dex save from the guy right in front of me, please? Also, I realised I could have hit him a second time with the lightning launcher. I've got 2 attacks per action. I just hit him once and called it good. And I don't know why I did that. It's been a while since we've done combat and I've forgotten how to play my character.
Sorry. What are you hitting him with?
Lightning bolt.
Cool, okay. So dex save, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Annoyed me.
That is going to be, as he, I think, deftly steps out of the way, that's going to be a 20.
I'm now really mad at him. As a bonus action, I'm mad.
Does it miss completely?
Half damage?
I think it's probably half. Half as much as successful, yeah.
Okay. And that's a lightning bolt, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
5, 6, 7. That's a lot of dice. Wow.
Now that's a lot of dice.
One. 32, so half that.
Okay. Go. 17 points of damage. Or 16 points of damage. There we go. Cool. And is that the end of your go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And Ace then, still making their way towards the garage.
Can I make a short appeal? I think didn't Ori message Ace before she told the guards to take all their stuff off? So like those guards have completely removed full.
Well, I messaged as we were walking to the carriage, which was after I told them to take their armor off.
Yeah, but they have removed their armor in the time since you messaged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No,
they took their armor off. Then I messaged.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
And
Worth a try.
top of the next round, Ori.
Woo! So the one I've been attacking, how's he looking?
He's nearing hurt.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Visitors are tough.
Yeah.
These are the lowest of the low.
Doesn't bode well.
I'm glad we never tried to fight the Inquisitor, you know. Although.
Can you give me a wisdom saving throw?
You can. That is going to be a natural 20.
Fuck. Never mind.
What were you trying?
Cause fear.
Unfortunately, you can feel like the energy leave you. Is that your patron's gift or a spell?
Patron's gift.
Okay. You can feel the energy leave you, but it kind of just washes over him. He seems familiar with this effect, and it does not affect him.
Well, that's distressing as a thought for him.
Is that the end of your turn?
Hitting someone, like physically hitting them, is an action, isn't it? Not a bonus action.
Yes, it's especially for your class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though
yeah, that's the end of my turn.
You do have bonus actions as a bard.
Oh Jesus, now that's getting into things.
You very rarely give anyone bardic inspiration.
Yeah, fine. I give bardic inspiration to Dice.
The Millie, I feel inspired.
No, Millie has arrived in the carriage to help.
It's Greg's new character.
Yeah.
I've also got 2 lots of inspiration to use myself, but.
Mm-hmm.
Bardic inspiration, is that what do you do with that? I never remember.
You can roll an extra. Is it D6 for you at the moment, babe?
D8.
D8.
And
yeah, D8 for each level.
Yeah.
On an attack ability check or
saving throw.
Saving throw, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Ability check, attack, roll, or saving throw.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of your go. The person in front of you once again starts to wave his hands in an arcane fashion in front of him and begins to utter Shalem Elvish at you. And I'm going to need, there we go, a wisdom saving throw, Ori.
Uh, 20.
20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
As the spell he casts hits you, you do begin to feel like your body is locking up. But you push through the effect, and you are not hit, or you are no longer affected by the hold monster spell that he just threw at you.
So it's okay. I felt something that time. If you keep trying, you might actually be able to do something. Can I roll intimidation on him?
Yes. Yeah, I'll give.
I think that's only reasonable at this point.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
That is 28.
Okay, I'm gonna give him disadvantage on saving throws and ability checks because he's so like, what the fuck is going on? Ah!
Being belittled.
He's just really off his game.
He's having an anxiety attack right now. You're giving the guy an anxiety attack. His
Deep down, he's realizing he's liking it, and now he's starting to question his sexuality.
his companion.
Do I want to be a sub?
Wait, do I have a
wanna be
humiliation
dogged?
kink?
His companion is still attempting to have everyone.
Just be friends.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we be friends?
Everyone just
Why
calm
can't
down,
we-
guys.
Just try and calm everyone down. Here we go. Okay.
This dice is my friend.
The third one, who looks messed up, attacking dice, decides to split his focus. So, give me a second. There we go. Your mirror images are gone now, aren't they, Mel?
Yes.
So you've got
Yeah.
one left. You only 2 of them got hit.
Only 2 of them got hit. You're quite right. I've got 1 left.
Okay.
I forgot I had 3. I could have rolled against that. Anyway, whatever.
In fact, you probably should have done.
I told you I've forgotten how to play my character.
It's fine. I don't know. Have you used mirror image before?
Okay.
I didn't
No, and
even
I had
think
nap
you did.
today.
So again, then he
Spells.
casts Eldritch Blast. 1 bolt flies towards you, dice. The other bolt flies towards Oriana. The third bolt flies towards his friend, the one who is trying to calm everyone down. Okay, so that is going to be dice. That's going to be a 19.
What, against me?
Yeah.
It would have hit me, but it misses.
Okay. Hits the mirror image, yeah?
No, it doesn't. It just doesn't hit. It would have hit me because I failed on the roll for the mirror image.
Yeah.
So I got to roll over an 11 to get it to hit the mirror image because there's only 1 left.
What's your armor
So-
class?
20.
Oh, okay, cool. The second one,
Missed.
the second one then hits Oriana at a 23.
Wait, that's damage or?
No, that's the to hit. So it's 23.
no.
It's definitely 23 hits Oriana.
23? Oh yeah, it does. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah.
You look at her. Oriana's armor class is like 10.
30.
All right, sorry. And the third one does in fact then hit his companion.
Oh, I hellish rebuke.
I've just been doing some calculations, and it turns out that Briar's right. 23 is greater than 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as it turns out, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to do Hellish Rebuke. So give me a second. Oriana, you take... Oriana, you take 16 points of damage
It's fine.
from the bolt that hit you.
Fine. It's whatever.
The bolt that hits his friend also does 16 points of damage. I'm going to keep this D10. This is a good D10.
No? I'll steal it from you guys, don't worry.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, go in there during the break, preferably.
I'll just do
If
it
we're
at
still
6 a.m.
playing after the break.
Okay. And then that is the end of his go.
He
as
needs
he
to do a
sees-
dex save.
Oh yeah, sorry for Hellish Rebuke. That is that's going to be a 4.
Yeah, that fails. He's taking 3 d10s of damage.
Oof. Okay. There is a certain number of which, if you roll on all 3 dice, he's gonna die.
Oh no!
Is it 10?
It's 19.
19. Yeah, you're about 6 points over what you needed to hit him with.
So he finally lands. One of them finally lands a shot and dies because of it.
Mhm.
Terrifying right now. They're like,
As he turns back to you, then Oriana, confident in the knowledge that he now has another ally ready to join this fight. Having freed his companion from your spell, he turns back in just enough time to see the energy from your hellish rebuke just incinerate him. And
Turn to the one that's already intimidated and go, you see what happens if your spell does work, though?
Dice, it is your go.
Yeah, I'm gonna see that. Which one looks terrified of Oriana?
He's not terrified of Oriana. He's just
He's
out of
unsure.
sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's the one. It's the one closest to her. So let me. I forgot. That's it. Off again. There we go. So that one dead. Yes, it's the one closest to Oriana.
Okay, so I'm going to look at the other guy who I've just seen get hit with the Eldritch Blast. I know he's going to join the fight now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to just try and hit him with my lightning launcher twice.
Cool. Go for it.
To miss, I've really got to be trying when they're not wearing armor. But the first one is 18 to hit.
18 definitely hits. Yep.
It's good because I rolled a 7. Fuck me, come on, can I have decent damage, please? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 damage on the first hit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try and hit him again. This time I rolled 28. 28.
28 hits. Yeah.
Yeah, and the damage this time was 13 damage. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that on the one that's just come out of Charmed, or is that the one that's been attacking you?
The one that was attacking me is dead. Killed him.
Oh no, the one that was attacking me, sorry.
Yeah.
It's the one who's just come out of Charmed.
Okay. So, being the picture of health only a moment ago, he now shakes himself back to consciousness after taking quite a severe amount of force damage to the chest. And you can see him kind of patting at the massive bruise that is now forming on his skin, because he's, just stripped down to his undies, apparently. And as he looks up, it is in time to see two just bolts of lightning get launched towards him from the gauntlets of your armor. And he is now writhing, racked in pain. He looks fucked up.
As a free action, I just want to go, I feel a bit bad about that. And then
Looking at them and paying the attention you are, it looks to be that maybe the first one, or the one Oriana is still directly in front of, is maybe a higher rank, slightly harder than the other two. Is that the end of your go, Daz?
Yes.
Okay. And it is at this moment that the door of the carriage opens.
A knight in shining armor.
Quite literally.
But yeah, literally though, the shiniest.
Paladin in shining armor appears.
Ace.
Ace walks in. One's
Ace.
dead.
Ace!
One is almost dead. The other one is in a pretty bad shape and keeps side-eyeing Oriana.
What would Ace like to do?
Who is the least fucked up looking in this
One in front of
combat?
Rory.
Apparently the one furthest away from Ace.
One furthest away from Ace, but easily reachable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Ace will run up behind and attack with a hammer, I guess. Like it seems on brand, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So gets easily behind the both of them. Let's go for it.
Do they know that Ace is there?
As far as you can tell right now, they haven't really noticed.
So advantage on the attack then?
Yeah, go for it.
Nice.
I'll give you that because they're very, very focused on the assailants in front of them.
This is what surprises. That is a 21 to hit on the first
Definitely
attack.
hits.
I'll roll the second attack.
Okay.
That is also a 21 to hit.
Give me the damage on the first one. Separately.
Yes, I will do. I will indeed give you the damage. I am going to smite. You'll be surprised to hear.
I was wondering.
Yeah, I bet. Let's see. So smite. 1d8 for each spell level higher than 1. So we got Sorry, I always forget exactly how much damage to do for Ace. So we've got 1d8 for the hammer, 2d8 for a first level smite, and then 2 more d8 because it's a third level smite.
But also the
the lightning damage for the hammer. Yes,
the effects of the hammer as well.
I have not forgotten that part. Plenty I have forgotten. There's too many dice in this bloody drawer is my problem. Yeah, and the hammer does, is it 1d6 thunder damage, lightning damage as well, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so first attack we're looking at 13, 16, 20, 23, 27 plus 6, 33 damage.
33 points of damage?
Yep.
Okay. As you rush in then, as Ace rushes in and strikes the back of the Elven Inquisitor, you see shoulder blade and ribs just cave. Like the hammer has almost left a hole in their back, and as it draws back, you can hear the Elven assailant start to wheeze and gasp for breath as it turns to see he is looking fucked up from that one hit.
Okay.
Still standing, just
standing,
yeah.
or right? Okay, so I'll just do a. I'll just do a second level, then for the other attack.
Okay.
So that's all of these d8s except this one. In you go. Does the d6 apply on every hit, or is it once per turn?
No, Ace can apply an additional d6 a certain amount of times per day,
Right.
of lightning damage, but the d6 lightning damage just for the hammer always applies.
Okay, cool. 4, 5. This one's not such a good roll. 8, 11, 12 plus 6 is 18 damage from the second swing.
Second swing then almost takes his head off on the backswing as he turns just in time to see the hammer coming for him. And with a almighty crack and a pop of many different parts of his spine, he sails across the room and slumps against the wall, dead, gone.
Nice.
So this other guy is left. You said he looks fucked up as well.
Yeah.
We talking barely able to stand fucked up?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Ace, is that the end of your Ace's go?
That is the end of Ace's go, thank you.
Orion.
I need a wisdom saving throw from him.
Okay. That is going to be a 12.
It fails.
Yes, it does.
I told the dead.
Okay.
Just to fuck up this guy as he's dying. Hopefully, if I roll enough damage, he's going to hear the bells of death as he goes. Ooh. It's 15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
You hear loud, quite tinny, almost silver bells ring out around you. It's quite beautiful to most of you. It's quite a respectful sound, like a funeral. However, you see the elf in front of you clasp his ears with his hands as they start to bleed. And then the blood starts to drip out of his eyes as well.
Necrotic damage.
And he collapses to the floor, still holding his head in his death throes as he breathes his last and stops moving.
You know,
Hi guys, what's going on here?
You can get rid of the map now, AD, thank you.
I think we should chuck them out the window.
Yeah, alright.
Ace sort
Wait,
of
is
like
there
looks
a-
around
wait.
at the destroyed carriage and is like,
Is there a door
Yeah,
to
no
the
one will
outside
notice.
on this carriage?
There is a door
Okay.
directly to the outside on this carriage.
Yeah. Should we, instead of having to lift them out of the window, we could just kick them out the door?
I mean, either. We have Ace. And
Ace
Ace
has
is
like
super
one
strong.
one elf over each shoulder. It's like,
Oh,
what?
that way as well.
Do you open a window?
We open the door.
Okay. It does look, as you're looking at the door, then it does look, as the landscape passes in the darkness, it looks like the train is slowing slightly. It's still moving faster than it has been for most of this journey, like an unsafe speed for a vehicle this size. The goblins, you assume, dice, having left them, when you put it up to full speed, the goblins still trying to safely slow the train down after what you did. But yes, as the door opens, Ace, with a grunt, just tosses the elves out, grabs the third one, throws him out as well, closes the door behind you all.
We should go and maybe unpack everything that's happened in the last couple of hours.
I cast prestidigitation to clean up any blood in the carriage.
Okay.
It's like it never happened.
It's gonna take a few casts, I reckon.
It's fine, it's a cantrip.
Yeah, and it takes it's 6 seconds to cast, right? It does take maybe a couple of minutes.
I get rid of the worst of it, the most obvious of it.
A good couple of minutes to clean up the blood, the scorch marks.
Is there anything broken?
I'm just getting rid of the blood.
There's some broken
much
stuff.
broken.
Like the impact of the bodies against furniture and walls. So you cast mending as a cantrip. And you start like repairing small holes and cracks in the wood.
Hang on a tick.
The body took most of that.
Doesn't Agonatsa's Scorcher say in the spell description that it sets fire to anything not being worn or carried that's flammable in the spell's area?
Mm-hmm.
But I also have control flames.
So like Ace is just like going around stamping out little fires in the carpet all over the place.
And I'm mending the carpet up.
Ace is
got a cloak like
the guy in the GIF from Community. He walks in with the pizza boxes and look, the entire apartment's on fire.
I got control flame, it's fine.
Yeah. But yes, you, after a while, maybe 10 minutes or so, just to make sure.
Ace is probably humming because their favourite part of a fight is the chores afterwards.
Clean up.
You do eventually manage to leave the carriage as you found it.
Now that is a cleanup. I think we did it.
We should probably head to the humans' carriage with Natasha.
Oh, yeah. You said something about that.
Yeah. I'll turn into Sylvia just to walk back through the carriage.
I'm going to stay as an automaton. It's very easy. It's great. Best disguise ever.
Okay. As you move your way back through the train then, a lot of the people who were clogging the corridors have gone back into their rooms to kind of sit out the rest of the journey, relaxing, having a lot of them assuming that they've just, it was nothing too bad. There was just a complication, the flashing lights, the noise outside. It was just, some bandits probably that have been seen off by the Elven Inquisitors and praise the Empire. And
that Inquisitor saying there was no record of a full tiefling getting on the train.
Yeah.
Oriana didn't have Disguise Elf up when she first got on the train. She put Disguise up when we realised the Inquisitor was on the train.
Also, I heard Disguise Elf, and I think that was really funny.
Oh well, whatever.
Yeah, but once you realised the Inquisitor was on, you changed. So the Inquisitor would never have seen a full tiefling, so it makes sense.
True.
It makes sense.
As you make your way then back to your carriage and your compartment.
No, we're going to the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you open the door into your carriage and your compartment and you see Natasha standing outside the compartment door.
Ah.
We handled the problem.
The window to the compartment door is shattered, as is the window directly opposite. You can assume, Oriana, this is how Vizier made their exit, straight through both panes of glass.
I do some more mending.
Before
glass.
Before you do any mending, perhaps we should go into compartment. I found a complication in the slave carriages.
That's fine, but I should mend the glass in the door at least, because otherwise people will be able to hear us, and I think that's probably not good.
Yes, but once we are inside.
Okay.
And she opens the carriage door, and you see inside one, holding their weapons drawn, over a prone figure, tied and bound and laying on the floor of the carriage. And to find out who that figure is,
I need
please
to
stick
pee
around
so
until
bad,
after the
guys.
break.
We gotta go for a break.
Yes, it is 5 to 9. So, please stick around. We're going to be about 15 minutes. We'll be back about 10 past. While you're on break again, if you could go check out Loki Battle Mats and Blink Dog Dice if you haven't already. But apart from that, yes, some of us do need to go for a pee really quickly.
Pee so bad. I just have two
Yes,
legs.
so if you've enjoyed
drank
this
the
half, please stick around for the second one. We will see you in a bit.
And I drunk this.
And I told them that a party of...
We're back.
And we're back.
Oh, for
Yes,
fuck's sake.
hello. I will continue that later. But yes, welcome back to episode
Just
61
pissing on clerics.
of the Chronicles of Nidum. We're not, clerics are awesome. But episode 61 of the Chronicles of Nidum, run by us at Dice the Beholder and streamed on the wonderfully accommodating, if slightly annoying, Heavyweight Gaming. But yes, hope you all enjoyed the first half. Where we left off, you had just done away with the 3 Elven Inquisitors, or Inquisitorial Guard, and have now made your way back to your own compartment. You were on your way to the slave carriages to meet up with Natasha, but have found her waiting outside your compartment with some news. Opening the door, you found one guarding a prone form.
Who's this?
Greg, if you would like to describe your character.
Okay. So in front of you, you see a very finely dressed, slender, sort of ginger-furred tabaxi. For the uninitiated, tabaxi is basically a big cat person, humanoid, but cat features. wearing a very jaunty hat, a wide brim hat with the brim pinned up to one side, and a large purple plume feather, and a big like quilted coat. They have a rapier at their hip, or possibly they don't at the moment because they may have been disarmed. I don't know. Yeah, that's basically who you see.
Is he conscious?
He is conscious,
In that case,
bound and gagged.
In that case, oh right. If he's gagged, he doesn't say shit.
I turn to Natasha and go, "Are you picking up strays now?"
You bought us a present.
I found him searching the human carriages. I thought ask questions later.
Fair
I
enough.
thought perhaps he was using the distraction of whatever that was to do something nefarious, but I've decided to bring him to you.
To be fair, he's lucky because when you found me going down to the carriages and you couldn't see me, you tried to punch me in the face. So I think that this is an improvement.
Well, in this situation, he did not see me coming. Though, to be fair to him, he was very hard to see in the first place. So,
Did you come across any Inquisitors?
there are perhaps, I think, 3 left in the rear carriage.
That is the last 3 then.
Some of them got left outside. Some of them are now outside and dead. And Sepsis has gone.
I was wondering.
Yeah, they went poof and disappeared. Yeah, because at my count, there should be 4 left. You've counted for 3, so actually there should be another 1 somewhere.
I'm missing one.
Well, 12.
Yes.
How many were outside?
5? 8. Yeah, 5. Then 8 with the 3 that we've just dispatched with.
There should be 9, 10, 11, 12.
4 left.
Hang on.
I will.
I'm gonna take his gag off.
Okay.
God, just wait.
He keeps trying to say something. Maybe he knows where the other Inquisitor is.
Do you, pussycat? Do you know where the 4th Inquisitor is?
Listen, it was not what it looked like. I can explain. I was.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you if you knew where the 4th Inquisitor was.
Bri, do I know where the 4th Inquisitor was?
No.
No, I don't have any clue what you're talking about.
Okay, what were you doing in the human carriage?
It wasn't what it looked like. I was not snooping. I simply
didn't ask you what it looked like. I asked you to just tell me what you were doing there.
It's a long journey, and I went to the human carriages to have a little sport to entertain myself because
What do you mean sport?
I like to occasionally throw a ham bone through the bars and watch them scrap for it, but
I take my helmet off.
they don't seem quite as sorry.
I
Punch
take
him
my
in the
helmet
face.
off and Ori punches him.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Roll to hit with advantage.
While Ori's doing it, I take my helmet off and go, "You bait humans for fun."
Do you appear to be a human currently then?
Oh yeah.
Oh cool.
She's
And
just taking her helmet off.
21?
Oh yeah,
That
it
hits. Yeah, absolutely hits. What does your unarmed attack do?
No, straight. It just says 1.
Yeah, that's usually the case.
Literally.
I
Ow.
take it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
First things first, we do not use humans for entertainment.
Your automaton is a human. Are you aware?
It's not an automaton. It's
A
just
moment.
a human.
A moment. I'm
Yes.
going to look for the 4th Inquisitor.
Okay.
I'll
Let
come
me
with
know.
you.
Let
No.
me know
No.
what he says.
Okay.
I will.
And Natasha leaves.
You shouldn't leave me with these people. They're very violent. Oh, she's gone.
He's way more violent than we are, actually.
Yeah, trust me, you want to be left with us.
Yeah.
You've got your human talks out of turn to you, I've noticed.
My
Nice.
human is my friend.
Ace drops the Durgar disguise.
Waves like this.
You've got 2 humans.
I don't
Interesting.
have 2 humans.
This is
These
very-
humans are my friends.
Yes, but this is very interesting. I have some news for you about them. I have discovered something, and I think you're going to be very interested to find out. They're not actually. Did you know that they're not actually of sort of a sub-elven intelligence level? They're actually humans can actually be.
Just put my hand over his mouth. Okay, I'm just going to save you a lot of oxygen. I grew up with these humans. I know.
That's interesting. How did you discover that?
I read it in a book. This is very. It's very interesting. I read a book, and it was a history book, and it was from before the Empire, a time before the elves started telling us lies about humans, and they've been telling them for thousands of years.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
know.
2 things. What's your name, first of all?
Oh yes, my name I'm Elenil Subtlequill of the Fragrant Pools clan.
Elenil
Elenil Subtle Quill.
Yes, you can call me Quill.
Okay. The second question: what were you actually doing in the human carriages?
Well, there was a large, scary man outside the train, and it was causing quite a distraction. That a lot of the inquisitors and guards were outside investigating that situation, and I thought it might be a good opportunity. See, I'm on the train to actually free the humans in those carriages, because they're being taken as slaves, but they shouldn't be. It's wrong.
Can I roll an insight check?
You absolutely can.
Yeah, I'm going to as well.
And Ace would like to as well, please.
Roll for Ace against myself.
Yeah, can you roll for Ace against?
I've done
My
it.
insight was only a 6.
I've just rolled better than I ever rolled against success.
Ace rolled a 13.
21. But I'm real mad about it.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be rolling.
You don't have to roll for this one. You're absolutely right
Yeah,
now
'cause
telling the truth. So Charlie, Oriana, you
Yeah, I believe him.
you absolutely believe him. Dice,
Yes.
you are apprehensive. This is a new person, and from someone outside of Nidum, or someone that you haven't met that was involved in the underground, seemingly controlled by a very high-ranking human father, this is the first complete stranger, not connected to any other party that you're aware of, that you know that is a massive proponent for human rights. Even in that apprehension, though, you do sense that this is the truth. This is absolutely what this person believes, that humans should be free.
So, let's say we believe you.
Okay.
Everyone nodding.
We believe you. Do you not think that doing it alone might have been a little bit of a foolhardy endeavor?
Well, I mean, certainly I would prefer to have allies in my quest to free humans who are currently in bondage. But I don't know if you've spent much time around, people. They tend to view humans as dirty, primitive, stupid. What else? Violent, evil. So it's hard to win over fellow. I'm sorry. Did you say that you, addressing Oriana, did you say that you grew up with free humans?
Yes.
Where?
I'm not telling you.
We can't tell you that.
For the first time in 61 fucking
First
episodes,
person you've ever
you meet
met.
a complete stranger and
I
don't
mean,
tell
yeah.
them where you're from.
Oh, the delicious irony of it all.
Sepsis is gone, and Sepsis missed this moment.
Somewhere, Sepsis is stood, and a cold chill just went at the back of their neck. Like, what?
The
What's
world is
happened?
changing.
Things have changed. Well,
But you grew up somewhere where humans are free and not held in slavery.
Yes.
again,
This is fantastic. Well, can we, when we free the humans on the train, can we take them there?
In a sense.
not us directly, but
But
I
they'll be sent
suspect
there.
that's where they'll end up, or some of the other places that free humans live.
I'm confused. If you're already aware of this, and indeed you two of you are human, why have you not already freed the humans on the train? And was one of you feeding them, because they genuinely do look more healthy than other slaves that I've encountered?
It's something we're working on.
And I've been feeding them for the last 2 weeks.
I don't know if you're aware, but there are elven inquisitors on the train, and until recently, the Inquisitor was on the train.
That Bri, would I know of the Inquisitor personally?
You know of the Inquisition. You know generally how the hierarchy in the Inquisition works. There is a Grand Inquisitor and a High Inquisitor. The Grand Inquisitor very rarely leaves the temple, but the High Inquisitor does travel far and wide. So you would assume that when they say the Inquisitor, they mean the High Inquisitor.
The High Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
The High Inquisitor. That's very disturbing. But you said was, so presumably no longer traveling with us.
No longer on the train, unfortunately still alive.
Unfortunately, yeah, he's travelling by a different means now.
Which we think might mean magic. I'm going to untie you because I don't.
Yes, that would be
believe your
quite.
effects.
Actually, this. I didn't catch that lady's name, but she ties quite tightly, and I can't feel my fingers.
That's Bob, and I untie.
Bob,
hands.
okay, yes.
As you're untying,
Could I be so bold as to ask for your names?
Dice.
as
Fantastic.
you're
It's a pleasure
untying
to meet you,
Quill,
Dice.
roll me a perception check, Dice.
I will fully, happily, and intently. Oh, it's cocked. It was a really good score before it was cocked. 17.
17, okay. As you begin to untie Quill's hands and feet, you do notice that the quality of Quill's clothing is finer than you are usually used to. Also, Quill's hands, there is maybe a smudge of ink on at least one of the pads of their fingers, but the pads are soft, leaning towards more of a bookish pursuit than labor.
Are you any good at fighting things?
Yes, well, I think I can certainly hold my own in a scrap, as it were, if such a. But my my specialities and my expertise lend themselves more to the avoidance of combat. But certainly, if combat is in the offing, then I'm okay.
These are his possessions, and one gives you everything that Natasha gave her.
Did you not think it was weird to begin with that there was a human in the carriage who was clearly armed?
I presumed some sort of fighting, for the pits or something.
Well, actually,
yes, it was unusual, certainly.
Technically, she might do that, but that would be her choice, not being forced. What sort of weapons does what sort of belongings does Quill have that one's giving back?
You have a scimitar, which is like very, very fine, as well as a rapier, a dagger, a short bow.
A pack.
And I don't know if they would have taken my wand as well, which is a very.
It would be classed as a weapon.
Very fine and fancy wand. And if Natasha was being really thorough, would probably also have taken the bag of holding, to be fair.
I'd take hold of the wand and look at Quill and go, "You're a spellcaster."
Yes, yes, I'm a wizard. I think is the term.
You're so you use a book.
Yes, yes.
And you need the wand.
The wand is helpful. Yes. Why do you?
I nudge Oriana with my
know
foot.
something of
That'd be me.
spellcasting? You have some.
Such a fucking nerd! And I hand you the wand back.
So you have some rudimentary knowledge of spellcasting, I assume.
Rudimentary.
My name is Oriana, and I drop disguise self.
Verbal.
And now
And
stands
I am a
before you
sorcerer.
a pure blood tiefling. 6'1",
Sorcerer.
I think, at last
6'1".
magical height
Yeah.
change. 6'1".
6'1", massive wingspan.
Mhm.
Quill is 6'5".
Wow!
A sorcerer, you say?
How is he such a fucking tall cat?
Isn't a sorcerer basically just a wizard without a hat?
It's a wizard without the need of a book.
I mean,
I've broken Bray. I've done it. He's dead now.
I threatened to do it earlier. To
That's
be
the
fair.
end of the session.
in fairness, a
I
wizard
threatened to
without-
do it, and then I decided not to.
I'm happy now.
Stu understood that reference.
Understood. I never understand any reference.
Okay. Yes. Well, but you said that you have a plan to free the humans in the.
Yes.
In the
we
rear
need to wait
carriages.
till we're closer to to our destination, and then we're going to detach the carriage. And our friend who just left is going to help the humans get somewhere safe.
That is
Once
a
we've got-
substantially better plan than the one I had. But I suppose you had an advantage in that you have more people, in more places. I was just going to.
You
You can
do
help us.
remember, as you're explaining it to Quill, you do remember the other main reason is because there are more humans that are going to be attached to the end of the train.
Yeah, we explained all of that.
At the following two stops. So yeah,
I have
instead of
a
just
question.
saving these ones, you want to try and do them all.
Maximum amount of people to save.
This
Maximum
makes
philosophy.
sense. Yes. Is there any way that I can help?
Yeah. Do you have an ability to perhaps make people fall asleep or sort of be restrained, bound, gagged, and blinded?
I have a number of ways to make people dead, and
That's a good start.
I also I'm very, very good at getting past people without them seeing me. I can pick locks, if such a thing would be useful.
I can pick locks. No, I was trying to work out if there was
I
a way
can
to
move
get
very, very quickly.
it's handy, but unless you also know how
And
to
you're a
drive a
tabaxi,
train.
that's what comes with your race.
I don't know how to drive the train, but I am a fast learner.
I was actually working out if there was a way to incapacitate the goblins without having to kill them, because I feel kind of guilty. They haven't
They're
really done-
goblins, just hit them hard enough on the back of the head.
Ari, have you ever seen me actually try and hit something manually?
But Ace even then is like, but even hitting them really hard on the back of the head would probably kill them.
Well, when you're
'cause
not
they're
that hard. If you did it,
goblins."
yeah.
Okay.
I can be quite deft. It's possible that I could sneak up on them and overpower them.
Quill,
Yes.
do you have a patron or a god that you follow?
No, it's not really I've never been. Are you attempting to convert me? Because I'm not.
I
really
am not attempting to convert you. I just need to know if there is any anonymous voice whispering little things in your head.
Or if you've ever read an evil book?
Well, according to certain empirical figures, you know, the officials, the Inquisition, this book, and Quill will produce a very old red leather-bound book, is highly inflammatory. I don't know if evil would be. I feel.
Look, when you finish reading that book, is some giant ass undead thing going to turn up and try and claim you?
No, when I finished reading this book, I said, "Oh my, my entire life has been a lie, and now I have to go out onto the road and do my best to help humans." Was what happened.
Okay.
Would you like to hang out for a bit? And also, can I read your book?
Yes. Yes, I've never managed to convince anyone else to even really leaf through. Yes, please. And we'll sort of very reverently lay the book down on whatever table there is in here.
I'm going to go look for Natasha.
And then it's sort of at this point that Quill looks around the room and is like,
Could be two different people.
Are all of you sharing this carriage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, how delightfully cozy.
Sorry, I have one last question, and Ori, you might want to hear the answer before you go.
Mm-hmm. I'm sort of just leaning in through the door.
You seem remarkably well off. In my experience, limited though it may be, the more well-off members of society tend to be comfortable and not willing to step outside of those comforts lest they lose them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You don't seem to give a shit, and it confuses me.
Well, I enjoy comfort. I enjoy, the finer things certainly, and it's true to say that I've grown up in have a certain position of privilege, and that I've grown up in a not very difficult life certainly, but when this history book it's very, very important to me. It's the first thing. He is undermining me. Is the first thing in my life that really made me feel something was important, and from that point on, I felt that it wouldn't be right to continue living so easily.
One last question from me, Quill.
Yes.
How much gold do you have?
Why?
It's handy to know. I can tell you how much I'm carrying if it makes you more comfortable.
Currently, I have 0 gold because it's in that bag that your friend
bag of holding
from me. Yes, that one.
I'll give it back.
700-ish, I think.
I go, we have more.
Combined, okay. Yes.
I think if I were desperately in need, I could probably access some more money.
Honestly, it's not actually important. We were just curious, I think, based on the amount of finery that you're wearing.
What time of day is it?
Right now, it's
gotta be quite late in the night.
It's literally almost middle of the night now.
Natasha will call if she needs us.
I didn't feed the humans.
Oh, I did.
You fed the humans?
Yes, I passed some food in. Yes.
Where's your carriage?
It's a couple forward from the dining car.
You're in first class.
Oh yes, I'm not a farmer.
Hello?
Subtlety was never taught to you, was it?
Of a sort.
What's your room number?
8.
8. And to be clear, if you tell anyone about us or in any way hinder our effort to... Bucky, shut up. Our effort...
Bob was losing his fucking mind. Such an idiot.
That's what we live with.
Yeah.
It's just that constantly.
Trying to eat his own feet.
If you in any way hinder our efforts to go relatively unnoticed, actually we've hindered that fairly well ourselves, but we will kill you too, if necessary. I'd rather not. You seem nice. But it's been a long couple of months, and
well, we share that preference. and it would seem counterproductive to my own aims to
You really want to help humans and
it's all
disrupt the Empire.
that's all I want. I mean, what I would very much. I would like for the Empire to end.
Then maybe you should stick with us.
At least for a while, and see how you fit in.
Where are you headed?
Paris.
Harass. Where we're going to break into the palace.
Yeah.
You see,
Because
we have a friend who is being blackmailed by the Empire because they have his son. So he has to do whatever the Empire says, or they'll do something to his son, so we're going to get his son back.
Who's your friend?
Bounty hunter was trying to kill us, but instead we're trying to help them. Also, if we get a chance, I'd quite like to try and save the matron mother of the drow.
There's also a bunch of tieflings I'd like to rescue from the High Inquisitor, but that might have to wait a while.
One step at a time.
Cora's taken out
tieflings, half tieflings.
Cora's taken out a second book and is like making notes about this. Like,
Don't write it down. I take the book off and like, no. You
sorry,
don't write this stuff down.
Sorry, it just helps me think that you have an awful lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
There might also be some succubi we have to save as well at some point, potentially.
If Luster wants help with that, yes.
You lead a complicated life.
Well, we didn't used to, but over time it just seems to become more complicated. I'd quite like to close off one of these threads eventually.
But
How big is your room in first class?
Oh, it's
Bigger than this?
yes.
It's about 3 times the size. Of this.
Yes, this is substantially very much bigger than this. Yes.
I grab my stuff and I'm like, I'm going to your room.
I look at
Anyone else?
like, is she propositioning me? This is very awkward. We've only
No, I'm
Possibly, but
sweetheart, I'm not. It's the fur, it's a no.
I understand.
The first hot.
Okay, that's a lot.
Your girlfriend is a spider, so, well, can be a spider, but...
No, my girlfriend's mother can be a spider, or is linked to these spiders. I'm not really sure. I should ask her about that.
Can I have my notebook back?
Oh, yeah, throw it.
Girlfriend's mother is a spider.
Actually, technically, my girlfriend's brother is part of the spider.
Sorry, yes, okay, scratch out mother. There's BR, yes, good, thank you. I'll bear that in mind.
So we're going to your room if it's bigger than this?
Yes, please, be my guests.
Quite literally, I think.
Yes.
So we move to Quill's room.
I would feel better about that. Then we can keep an eye on you. I'm not sure how. You seem very trustworthy.
Is the one who tied me up and left me here going to join us?
They have their own room.
Okay.
Also in first class, so technically this works out.
They may want to speak with you at some point, though.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, this human is called Ace. And it's they,
Pleasure.
them pronouns.
Pleasure to meet you, Ace.
Hello.
And Dice, Oriana. Yes, it's a pleasure to meet all of you. This is an unexpected delight, finding people who are on a similar. Well, one of your missions is similar to mine. Some of the others are confusing me a little.
Well, we recently lost a member of our team, so there's a position open.
We have a vacancy.
You, how careless.
They
I hope
aren't
they turn
dead.
up. No?
No, I don't know.
They're not dead, kind of hope they don't turn up.
Okay.
I mean, I miss them, but they what they did. You know the big guy outside?
Yes.
That was them.
They caused that.
You.
And
How did they fit on the train?
What?
You said that big guy was them.
No,
No,
they caused that.
I see.
They read a book, they finished the book, that thing turned up wanting to claim the book back.
That sounds like a hell of a book.
Yeah.
Do I know what the name of the book was, Bri? I can't remember if Sepsis said it or not.
Or if we ever looked at the cover of it while Sepsis was reading it.
No, I'm sure Sepsis did say the
You
book
don't
of
still-
darkness. Because I
You
was
don't
going
still
to ask.
have this book by any chance? I'd look.
God, no.
No, and you would not want to read it.
Okay. Sure.
Again, if you show any signs of being power hungry in any way, shape, or form, I will put you out of your misery.
No, okay. Noted.
Magical power in terms
Power
of
hungry equals bad. Yes, good.
my understanding that wizards seek new
follow me.
spells.
Yes,
Okay,
no,
yeah.
I like to find spells. I like to learn new spells. It's intellectual exercise. And
Maybe I can teach you some.
Is that how it works for you?
No.
Oh, no, sweetheart. I've just got to think of it and practice it for a while, and then I can do it.
Sounds very unreliable.
Oh, you
Actually,
have no idea.
Sometimes unreliable. I mean,
Have
Ori,
you
let's be honest.
have you ever heard of a wild magic sorcerer?
Bright, have I ever heard of a wild magic sorcerer?
You've heard of wild magic sorcerers. They're very rare.
Quill takes a large step
experience.
backwards away from you.
And they are thought to be dangerous, but you are slightly more open-minded because they were thought to be dangerous in the same way that humans were thought to be a subspecies. So
Yeah. But still,
you've learned to be more open-minded.
still takes a reasonably large step away.
It's
and
alright, I haven't had a reaction in quite a while,
Well,
which could be a bad thing.
I'm very happy to hear that.
That was a while ago. Like
Bri
months
is
ago.
just realizing that he didn't make you roll any wild magic.
No, I knew.
Yeah. I knew.
I didn't forget.
It says in the play. Look, it
I know.
what it said.
I know.
I
It
know what it
says
the
says.
DM
DM's discretion.
can have you roll a wild magic session. Doesn't have to.
Anyway, yes,
Anyway.
this way to my carriage, please.
Yes,
Please do
please.
follow
Can't
me.
lead the way.
Thank you. And I will lead the way to my first class carriage.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have a significant other?
No, in fact, my brothers and my older sister were sort of married off, for allegiance purposes and to gain influence.
Who are your parents?
Oh, but I'm of the Fragrant Peaks clan. I'm sure you've heard of. No. Okay.
we're not entirely up to speed on the world because we were quite sheltered growing up.
Oh, my family is well, it is a merchant clan. Would be the easiest way of explaining it, but it's a little they're a little more involved than that.
Oh, so a well-to-do family.
They've been very successful for a very long time. You understand?
Old money.
To a degree, and so they.
And are you the youngest?
No, I'm sort of the middle child. In my I'm the middle child of 12, I think. Start to lose track. I mean, it's possible that a couple more have been born since I left. My parents were very fruitful.
Okay.
Ace is red.
You eventually get to the first class carriage. It's not as nice as the Inquisitor's, but much nicer than yours was. And easily will comfortably sleep you all.
This will suit nicely.
This is nice.
Also, sorry for invading. Like, well, a little bit sorry. Like, I'm some sorry.
Oh no, it's a pleasure to have company.
One immediately starts to lay out a bedroll on the floor, kind of thing.
I think we can possibly do a little better than what your friend does not have to sleep on the floor.
They're still fighting old habits.
I am quite comfortable on the harder surface.
I didn't catch your name, by the way. Sorry.
a lot of people do not tend to ask, so
Yes.
I do not offer. My name is One.
I apologize most profusely. I have an old habit of not interacting directly with humans when others are around, because I don't want to, become murdered for what I.
I find or have found that not speaking while others are around
For not becoming murdered, yes.
Yes, exactly, for the same reasons.
It's good to find kindred spirits with whom I share that interest.
Do you have room service here?
Oh yes, certainly yes.
And is it on a tab?
It
Yes.
is.
Yes, it is.
Because it is late, but I have not eaten.
Oh yes, fantastic. Let's get some get some food. I'm famished myself.
Hey, do you know how much things are supposed to cost?
The first class carriages all have bells, and as Dice asks this question, you just pull like a small cord, and you can all hear like a quiet bell ringing off in the distance.
How much do things cost? I mean, it's one meal. What could it be? 20 gold? It's
Okay, so you have it a different way. You see, where we grew up, there was no gold.
Yes,
Everything was traded in goods and services.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get charged for things around here, we don't know how much we should be paying and if we're being overcharged or not.
I have a similar experience because where I grew up, I also didn't use gold. I just rang a bell, and then a person brought me the thing that I wanted.
And as he says that, there's a knock at the door, and a servant
the thing that I wanted.
In. Oui, monsieur. What can I do for you?
I put my helmet up before the
looks
door
slightly startled, as most of the staff know how many people are supposed to be in the first class carriages.
Dinner for me and my guests, please.
Will your guests be remaining in first class with you for the rest of the journey, or?
We haven't decided yet.
I fail to see how that's any of your concern.
I'm sorry, sir, for any insult, of course, but of course, this does need to be disclosed to the staff so we can add it to your account.
Well, then by all means do add it to my account.
Of course, sir. I am sorry, I will have food sent right away. We will wake the chef.
Merci.
And he rushes away, chastised.
Must be nice to have money.
That's personality change. That's interesting. Why do you do that?
It doesn't arouse suspicion.
So you act like an asshole.
Play the part of the stuck-up rich kid.
He hasn't.
How old are you?
20.
Congratulations, you're the oldest in the group.
Yeah.
Well, except we don't know how old Natasha is.
Also, you grew. You got older.
Yes, okay, physically I am 25, but I am only 18.
No, I know, but...
I'm sorry, you're going... Please, can I just... Still furiously scribbling in the notebook, like... Sorry, please, could you just elaborate slightly on that?
Wild Magic Surge aged me by several years.
I see. Slide slightly further away on the seat.
It was a very long time ago. It also turned me blue, but I got better.
It turned you blue. It made you speak bubbles. And what was that thing about every time you sneezed? There was something about every time you sneezed. I remember that.
No, I sneezed once and I turned you all invisible.
You say it was a very long time ago. It feels to you like it was a very long time ago. It was only actually about a couple of months.
Yeah, all right. That's a long time ago.
I mean, maybe...
Look, I sneezed, I turned you invisible, I summoned that tiny little robot thing, I turned blue, I grew a couple of inches, I aged a bit, but I got better.
That tiny little robot was so cute.
It all wears off after a while.
It seems... You guys have been traveling together for some time, from the sounds of things.
You want something for your notebook? Let me tell you about the mines underneath Portal.
Oh,
yes,
God,
please.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I grew up not that far from Portal, in fact.
Oh, let's see how much you know. And I'm going to go into the whole story about the hands on the train, and I'm going to go through everything in the mine with the monsters and then also the
Duchess.
No, the drow,
Rider.
Dryder, thank you. You'd think Drow Spider would stick in my head as Dryder, but no. The Dryder, and I'll go through all of that.
You've met a Dryder. It's,
We saved the Dryder. Oh, the Dryder saved us, one way or another. We sort of saved each other.
wow, you have been on some adventures. I've been. My life has been extraordinarily dull in comparison. I've been. Well, let's see. For 19 years, I mostly DOSed is the word. I think I was DOSing a lot of the time.
When did you
Slack.
learn to become a wizard?
Oh, well, tutors. My family brought
And
in
the
several.
lockpicking?
My mother actually was before she and my father were married. She used to work for my family in
She married well then.
in a covert capacity. If you take my meaning, she did some.
We're aware of what job lines most tabaxi tend to go into. We grew up with tabaxi.
To be fair, most tabaxi that I've met have been traders, politicians, but yeah, certainly a few roguish sorts, including my mother. But yes, she's given all of that up now that she's deeply in love with my father. Sorry?
Have you ever heard of the father?
The father? I've heard of my father.
No, the father.
Shiny Button. He was
I'm sorry, what was his name?
Shiny Button.
Oh.
And my mother is Swift Dart.
That's
Swift Dart? That sounds amazing. Shiny Button?
Yes.
I love that.
A lot of us, a lot of tabaxi are named after objects.
Yes, skills, traits, family things. Again, tabaxi in the town we grew up in.
Yes. Although all of my family also have an elvish first name, as we find it helps to grease the wheels somewhat,
I love that. Shiny Button.
That is adorable.
Yeah, he's not the shiniest button on the blouse, if you take my meaning.
Are you
Not the
pulling your
sharpest
father?
knife in the drawer.
You're pulling your father a dull button.
He's certainly not a Swift Dart. But what he lacks in most areas, he makes up for in sort of affability and staying out of the way.
Okay, I think we've played enough 20 questions, unless there's something you really want to ask us.
There's a knock on the door. And again, the servant opens and food has arrived and platters are brought in and placed on little side tables around you. It is much nicer food than what you have been served in the standard class dining carriage, especially at this time of night.
Merci beaucoup.
The servants leave quite quickly.
Looks good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, do you
Please
have any
help
questions
yourselves.
for us?
Well, yes. So, did you come originally from Cambria? I know you can't tell me specifically where, but you mentioned being in Porthtal. A while back.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we're from Cumbria.
I grew up near the border, or just on the other side of the border.
Near Bristol.
North of Bristol. Yeah, sort of closer to the north of Cumbria, which a little bit of a dodgy. So we didn't cross the. Sort of in that general region, certainly. Interestingly, my estate predates the Elven Empire by quite a bit.
What do your parents think about this? You wandering off to, what did you say, to travel? Did you tell them you were taking a few years to find yourself?
Yes, my parents, well, my father thinks, oh, it's about time he went out on a grand tour and saw some of the world and sow some of those wild oats, etc. But my mother seemed to understand that there was something slightly more going on. She didn't ask too many questions. She's that sort of person. She expects me to be independent. I think she was pleased something had finally motivated me out of my plush armchair.
I think I've worked out where you found the book. You said your estate predates the Elven Empire. Presumably, your estate has a library.
Several, yes, and the book I found in a sort of library chamber, which was in the oldest part of the estate, a part that we don't really go into. But I was looking for somewhere to. I've noticed that when certain people in my family, my mother and others, would see me dossing around, not doing much, they tended to find tasks and chores and such the like for me to do, and so I was sort of trying to find somewhere they wouldn't see me, and I stumbled across a very dusty old room, and it was fantastic because no one had been there for quite some time, and that's where I found the book.
Fair enough.
It's very interesting. Would you like to? Did you want to peruse the book with me?
I would dearly love to, actually. We have been... All right, there's a few things maybe you should know, actually.
Oh, please.
Okay, the first one is about gods.
About what?
The
They're
first
real, they're still alive, they're just sort of cut off from us. We've been cut off from the other planes.
We've met Odin like 6 times. Hey, Quill, what's west of Avalon?
Right.
Quill responds. Actually, how does Quill respond? You've read your histories. You don't know if there's anything west of Avalon, but you do not automatically say anything.
I don't know if there's anything west of Avalon, is there?
Interesting. Have you ever tried asking that question of anyone who grew up not on a secluded estate away from the center of the Empire?
It's never really struck me as important.
Oh, it's hilarious. I open the door and is it like somebody walking past?
Yep, there's a servant walking past at this moment.
Excuse me one moment.
Oui.
Could you tell me what's west of Avalon?
There is nothing west of Avalon.
Thank you, good night.
I turn to one.
They seemed very confident.
I turn around to one and go, what's west of Avalon?
There is nothing west of Avalon.
You seem very confident.
Were you confident about what?
What's west of Avalon?
There is nothing west of Avalon. Sorry, you were saying something?
Is that like a tick?
Did you want any more food?
Yes, please.
Have more food.
She begins to eat as if nothing had happened.
Everyone answers that way.
Everyone.
I didn't.
No. Why not?
Because I don't know
Seems
what.
you've been raised in just as much of a sheltered life as we have.
It's a different type, right?
Mm.
So, I mean, certainly my life was not the most, not one characterized by hardship. I would grant.
No, not hardship. The seclusion, the being separate from the
Empire,
from the elves.
We had visitors occasionally when high-ranking elves would be traveling past, and they would.
You seem to have been raised away from their schooling.
You haven't been
yes.
indoctrinated.
Yes, no, I haven't. I mean, obviously, we had tutors who came by and they told us the more traditional histories that you won't learn in this book here. But aside from that, yeah, no, I wasn't.
Yes, going back to the gods thing.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you if you had a religion or a god, because Ace and I can still talk to our gods.
Hey.
Oh, and what have you? Because you haven't mentioned him talking to you.
Actually, he doesn't so much talk as he does send waves of positivity.
That's nice.
When I do good things.
If this is a cult,
Different gods.
We follow different gods.
It'd be a really shit cult. We would all be very, very uncohesive. We've met Odin several times. I'm not a follower of Odin, but we've met Odin several times. Ace is
He's insane.
Well, it depends what day of the week is it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you get Wednesday, he's fine on Wednesdays.
He's really good on Wednesdays. Thursday.
Am I allowed to write this down?
Yeah,
if you
go
want.
nuts. As long as you keep it in your bag of holding.
And Quill starts scritching extremely.
I follow Hades. I've talked to him a couple of times.
Hades.
He
That's
misses
one of
his
the.
wife.
That's one of the ones from Gracia, I believe.
Yes, he's the god of the dead and wealth.
Okay. Yes. Good.
He mostly misses his wife because when the whole separation happened, his wife was still on the other side.
I think my family traditionally had some association with temples to Pluto, who I think might be in some small way a relative of Hades or something.
In a way.
But yeah, my family originally comes from Italia, or whatever Bryce called that country.
I'm going to go with that.
Cool. There we go. Originally
Italy.
comes from Italia. That's where the fragrant peaks are. In fact, large region in central Italia.
I'm going to be entirely honest with you. No idea where that is.
No, I have a map. I've seen maps, but
It's if you have a map, it's the one that's shaped like a foot.
I pull out the rudimentary map I drew back when we were in Postal.
Yeah.
I drew a map of whatever I could see, and I've got the book, of course. So I put the book out.
I point to Italia and I say, but you're missing the heel, which is it's sort of here. And I'll just mark out with my finger where the heel of the boot would be.
I correct my notes because they're notes from the book. The book I've drawn sections. Anyway,
You can, in fact, looking at this, Oriana, Italia on the map, if you go to the heel, is probably your quickest route to Gracia.
Huh.
Unless you wanted to go overland and over mountains.
So what's the fastest way to Italia?
It's going to be over mountain, but
yeah,
there are routes. There are trade routes.
I need to get to Grisha, you see, and this seems to be quite an easy route.
We could. I have family in Paris. We could certainly they, because we still have wineries and orchards in the Fragrant Peaks, quite extensive actually, and so they have trade routes. I think that spread from there out across the empire. It's very possible that they would know.
If I need to get to Grisha, that is, because hopefully I'll find the temple I'm looking for in Paras.
You're looking for a temple?
Yes.
Okay.
To my god, to Hades.
Yes.
He's told me to find a temple.
Okay.
He struggles to talk to me otherwise.
He told you this in person?
Sort of. It's in a dream state.
Uh-huh.
I know.
And all three of you do this dream state god chat
Sometimes they
thing?
come to you. Well, not necessarily with Odin. We saw Odin in person, like awake.
Do you
And Hugin.
do you have to consume any kind of herbs or teas?
No, you don't have to, but I do. But on a completely different related matter.
Occasionally we get drunk. We are normal-ish. Yeah.
But
He
there's no
sometimes
sort of
comes to me
ritual-
sober, high, or drunk.
And there's no sort of ritual associated in trying to make these visitations occur.
No.
You have to understand, I've lived a very secular.
I mean, sometimes if I reach out for hard enough.
One of my older
I can.
brothers is a cleric.
But I mean, I also sometimes see dead people, so.
Hang on,
Is a
your
cleric
older brother.
A priest.
Your older brother is a cleric to who?
Do you know that never came up?
Because that's really interesting information. Because to be a cleric, the power has to come from the gods, much like Ace.
Sorry, I misspoke. A priest is what I mean.
Oh, because you see, Ace here is a paladin.
Of thought.
Paladin, like a holy knight,
Yes.
Basically, yes.
but with magical powers that you didn't learn from a book.
Yeah. How is that hard to believe? I've told you I'm a sorcerer and I don't learn it from books.
You've read about paladins, Quill.
Yeah, but there haven't been any for quite some time, right?
Not according to your knowledge. Not true ones, since the the knowledge that you gained.
So
Hey, Ace, show Quill your hammer. He seems skeptical.
Ace holds out the hammer.
Makes
And
it glow.
very nice.
as they
It's a very nice
as they
hammer.
hold it aloft, like electrical sparks run up and down it.
shit. It's the hammer's got Have you been rubbing your feet on the carpet? It's very plush. I know it's.
Don't touch it. You'll soon work out if it's static or not.
Or
No,
you
I
can just
think I
touch these, and I make my hands glow with lightning as well. Want to touch?
Okay, so is there anyone around here who doesn't know magic?
One puts their hand up
One,
Cool.
but one is a vicious fighter.
as she like stuffs food into a gob with her other hand.
You've got to
One.
understand that most of my life, my understanding has been that the only way to cast a spell is to have studied and practiced and written it down several times.
Yeah, it makes you a nerd.
Or to have made a deal with. some
Sorry,
sort
I
of-
was in school with a couple of wizards, and actually, I should feel sorry for them, the amount of reading they had to do.
I had
Elves.
to... Go on.
Elves. You need to know about the elves. If you're
met
going to
elves?
travel with us, you need to know about them. So
Oh yeah, they've been cut off from the Fae.
they used to do magic through nature. They used to nature magic was their thing. That's why they lived basically forever. They were part of the Fae, descendants of the Fae Wild, whatever. They have made a deal with something.
Yes,
But they don't know about it.
I know something of this.
You do.
I do. Yes, the book. We were going to read the book, and I know,
Wanna read the
Ariana,
book?
that you find reading books very boring and nerdy, and I understand it's.
Okay,
your
you
I love
two read the
books.
book. I'm going to go to bed.
Okay.
Because it is, I look at my watch,
And it's
late. And I'm going to bed.
Okay.
And I crawl into, I just like find the biggest, comfiest bed and crawl into it, just starfish.
midnight.
Um,
That is Quill's bed, but yeah.
That's a. No, that's fine. That's okay. There are others.
I'll share with Ori. You can stuff two together. It'll be okay.
Yes, fine, jolly good. But yeah, so the book, if you want to read.
I really do.
Okay, Dice, as you take the book then, on the front of it is Old Cymrian.
Yeah.
But it is fortunately a language that you are familiar with from your studies in Nidum. It was an elective that most people were. It was only after you left school that it became compulsory, like a compulsory lesson. You just missed it.
No, but I would have elected to take it. Dice is a nerd at heart anyway.
Yeah, cry bitches. It wasn't your fucking first language in school.
The title on the front
I
cover
just took short course.
faded
Old Cymrian.
and it's faded and worn, and you can see that the etching on the leather is almost non-existent, but it's just visible to you. And in Old Cymrian, it does read the last journal of Sir Kai ap Llewellyn, Knight of the Round.
Knight of the Round what? Never mind. I'll open the book.
Okay. As you open the book, you leaf through very quickly. However, holding the book and opening it gives you a buzz. There is something to this book, something more than the words and the paper and the leather that it is made from. There is a magic to this book, and it is a very familiar magic to you.
Say to Dice, I've read what I can read of it, but I've been studying the book and tinkering and spending some time with it as often as I can. It feels like there is more here than what I've been able to read, than the mere language.
I
Yes.
see you take out your book of maps with your other hand.
Okay.
And while the books are vastly different in age, the feel of the magic in them is almost the same. Like the ink is meant to convey more than what it shows to the normal reader. Possibly undetectable by someone who didn't specialize in magical tinkering, that relied on writing and ink and parchment.
Can I cast Identify in the book?
You can.
Thank you. I'm not going to do it as a ritual. It's late at night.
You're just going to cast Identify. Okay.
What was the name of the author of the book?
That is the last journal of Sir Kai Llywelyn.
Okay.
Do you want to know what that is in Welsh?
Yeah, actually.
It's a cyfnod darlin olaf.
And as you're reading it, or as you're touching it and perusing it, then the Identify, it is unfamiliar to you. The spell is strange. You've never come across it before. It is not like the Book of Maps. You feel, and the Identify spell shows you that the beautiful scroll work that is used to frame each page is not just art. They are words in Old Cymrian, written in a type of calligraphy that hides them and just shows them as dressing. But you feel as if you read this to yourself, you may very well almost experience what you read. If you were to read it aloud, there may be an additional effect for anyone listening.
All right. I will say to Quill, I've identified the book, and there's some hidden information within it. If I read to you what the book says, I think we may both experience something.
Are you able to do that?
Yes, I think so.
Please try. I've been trying to unlock the secrets in this book for nearly a year.
I'll do my best, and I will start reading the book.
Okay. It is halting. It has been a while since you've read Old Cymrian aloud, apart from just to yourself. However, almost from the first word, you start to see the room go dark, as do you, Quill. And the further you get in, the further or the darker the room gets. You begin to hear noises, not the passage of the train, not the night sky outside, the clanging of swords, like a battle in the distance. Thousands of men screaming in pain, screaming in anger. And suddenly the train room is gone. The compartment, the carriage has disappeared, and you find yourself in a meadow under a full moon, so bright it blocks out all the stars in the sky. You can see nothing apart from the huge circle above, shining a strange light on the scene in front of you. On the floor, next to a huge, beautiful lake you cannot see the other side of, lays a armored man, gravely wounded, blood running from many places. A crown has slipped off his head, lays on the floor next to him. He's surrounded by many men, armored like him, with slightly different liveries, shields, and you can see banners cast aside. He's laying on a bed of shields that match with their own symbols, their own coat of arms. In his hands, clasped the length of his body as he breathes what sounds like his last breath, is one of the most beautiful swords you have ever seen. It shines even in this light with a fire, as if it could be seen from miles around while held aloft in battle. And you can almost hear the metal hum in the memory, a ringing note that fills you with hope, even though the scene in front of you is tainted with sadness. You seem to be standing behind one man who is standing away from the group, and his shoulders are heaving. He is sobbing. He's a huge man, maybe almost 7 feet tall, muscled, but now to you feels tiny, broken, vulnerable. And you can feel the love this figure in front of you has for the man laying on the floor, breathing his last. You are hurtled across the landscape, and you stand above a battle, and you know in that moment that you are maybe an hour before. It's almost like you've traveled back in time, and you watch as this circle of knights fights to defend the king in the center, who is fighting with... And as you get closer to the scene, as you hover above, you see an elf. And that's when you realize the armies around you are, on one side, men bolstered by dwarves, bolstered by half-orcs, by gnomes, halflings. But on the opposing side, the side of the enemy that you know to be the enemy, are elves, not drow. Blonde-haired, tall, graceful, but with evil expressions on their faces, expressions of hatred. You can see the dark green necromantic energy in some of their eyes. You see their forces bolstered by Durgar. You see them using beasts and demons at the end of chains to fight back the armies of men. And you know in your mind that this is Mordred, not in the Arthurian legend you have been told, the half-brother of Arthur. This is the leader of an elven army. And you can see the dark shadows of evil powers around him as it appears that the army of men and all good races fight for freedom, fight for hope. And you know, through the knowledge you are gaining from reading, even as you experience these events, Mordred is leading an army of darkness with one sole purpose, and that is to wipe out humanity and control the destiny of the world with elven magic, with the magic of Durgar, with all of the darker forces of nature. And it's at this moment Arthur is distracted, and you see Mordred pierce near his heart with a dark sword that explodes as it touches his armor, but the tip, you know, has been left to sink ever closer to Arthur's heart. You are then dragged back with the speed of thought to the lake again, and Arthur is speaking his last words as you see a woman step from the water, beautiful, ageless, not elven, not human, just other. Dripping wet, she rests near Arthur and places her wet hand over the wound with his heart. She smiles sadly at him and explains that she cannot stop the blade, but she can take away his pain in his last moments. You see an old man step from the woods, step from the shadows, familiar to you, though at this moment you cannot quite work out where from. And Arthur speaks. I want to end this, to give the fate of the world back to nature, to take magic away and have it not be the will of those who are strong of mind, born with strange magical ability. For if their minds and hearts are warped, then this may happen again, even as we win this battle. And it is those without magic that suffer, always. I want a way that nature will be dominant, and that every man's fate can be their own and cannot be affected by unnatural forces. I am sorry to throw this gift you have given me away. And he takes the hand of the woman who came from the water. But I must cast it into the void, and in doing so, sever the link, or at least try to. The woman nods to him. I did not wish for this. But we gave you this gift. And as such, you may choose what you wish to do with it. For good or ill, I will not influence your decision, Arthur Pendragon. He turns his face to the old man. What do you think, old friend? And the old man smiles again, sadly. I expect that whatever you do, the coming centuries will be interesting. I will help. And the old man waves his hands, and a dark rift opens next to Arthur. And you see that he casts his sword through. At that moment, there is a flash of light, and you, standing behind the large man you now come to know in your heart as Sir Kai, looks on into the meadow. Once the light is gone, so is Arthur, so is the woman that you know Kai called the Lady of the Lake, and so is the old man, known to Kai as Merlin. Kai takes up his shield from the floor below Arthur, as do the other knights, and they all go their separate ways. But Kai promises into the night, giving his vow, that he will go back out into the world to find out what Arthur has wrought. Time speeds up again. You can see Kai traveling through towns, horrified. Entire human villages have been decimated. The building's still standing, but out of a town of hundreds, sometimes thousands, maybe 5 or 6 remain. The stories they tell are fantastical, impossible. People disappeared overnight, just went to bed and were just not there the next morning. The ones left behind appear to be the wise women, the healers, the sorcerers, the young mages. To a one, every single human left behind that Kai finds appears to be someone gifted with some kind of magic. The last memory that you have sees Kai giving the book to a young Empyrean, the son of a great family who was loyal to Arthur, to take it and hide it. Because Kai has heard that Mordred was not killed in that battle, and that the elves are making their way out into the world, spreading hate, spreading propaganda. And Kai wants to go and venture and find out what new world they live in. And it is at this moment, as you see this small boy holding the book, watching Kai walk away, that the memories start to fade, and you return to the train carriage, to Quill's compartment, and almost no time has passed.
That'll be the fastest I've ever read a book.
As you look down at the book in front of you, you are maybe 1/8 of the way into it. The rest is garbled, or entire pages themselves are blank, though the magic of the book seems to be unfinished. There are further secrets that the book can unlock for you.
Do you,
but you do not know now how to unlock them.
do you mind if I keep hold of this and try and do some work with it to see if I can understand it better and get it to give me more information, or us more information?
I'd prefer if we could work on it together.
Of course.
It's my it's my prized possession. I'd rather not let it out of my sight.
That's okay. We can work on it together. Nobody's really been interested in deciphering something secrets with me before. That sounds quite fun.
Good.
I thought you were sleeping.
What?
I don't know.
Did you just see all of that as well?
See what?
Oriana, you just had a really weird dream about battles and knights
Yeah.
and kings, and you're not
See
quite
what?
certain what was going on.
It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep.
Okay.
Night, sorry. Lots and lots of nights. Also,
Oh yeah, I was gonna start that. I was dreaming. Come to bed.
I will in a minute. That was interesting.
Or
but
is
it-
just like openly weeping. Just like tears running down his face.
You made the cat cry.
Yeah, up until this moment, Quill, you've only read these words.
Yeah.
But to experience the events and the emotion in them was a new experience for you.
Yeah. Like Quill hasn't most of his life hasn't really experienced any like emotional highs or lows beyond like, oh cool, the cook's making omelets today.
Ooh, is boy in for an emotional roller coaster?
I see that you're super sad, and I'm real awkward with new people because I didn't really meet any for a long time. So I just sort of go,
That's just a lot to take in. I think because we were sort of in the head of Sir Kai, I could feel his heartbreak as the king passed, and it was that was a lot.
we've lost quite a few people over the last several months.
I'm deeply sorry.
But I do feel a lot of empathy for Sir Kai. I would like to know more of his story and what happened next.
Yes.
It's interesting to me that Arthur was trying to do something good and instead left everyone here.
Perhaps
Maybe he sent the other people somewhere else.
perhaps he did accomplish something good, but certainly for those of us who remain, it can be difficult to foresee the full consequences of your actions, especially if those actions are of this scale.
I would be very interested to read the rest of the book if we can and find out.
So would I. So far, what we saw tonight was it went a little beyond what I've read, but not much. It's, most of that was just experiencing the sort of dry retelling that I had read in the book. Yes, there's more to find. I've always sensed there's more to find here.
There is a lot more to this book, I think. It's just not complete. There's something not complete. So we'll have to figure it out. But I would be very interested to know if by the end Sir Kai thought Arthur had done the right thing or the wrong thing.
Yes, as would I.
It would inform how we approach things in the future. Not that I think we will ever have the power to undo something like this. But know more about it is to help understand how humans ended up in the... What was interesting to me is the humans that were left were almost universally the ones with magic. That was my understanding.
Yes.
Why do more of the humans not have magic? Is it a lack of training? And actually they could have?
Suppression.
I don't know how. I
Or
don't
he's
know
given
how
up on trying to
heritable-
sleep and he just crawled to the end of the bed.
I don't know how heritable magical talent is. My father has no. My father and mother have no ability, and I have some small gift. But that's a matter of training and study. But for instinctive magic users like your friend Oriana, perhaps it's more
Couldn't tell
familial.
you.
Right.
Were your parents
I
magic?
don't know who my parents are.
I'm sorry.
Eh?
What were you
My-
going to say, Mel?
My mistake.
I was going to say, would I know how heritable magical traits were based on the village we grew up in and looking at families over the years and people with different abilities coming through, classmates, their parents, grandparents, everyone lived there. So
Everyone who lived in Nidum had some kind of magical gift, whether it was from study or by blood. Some was quite weak, very good with herbs, like could grow a garden in salted ground kind of thing, but no outward expression of that magic other than plants listened to them. Others, like Oriana, but one's a bit older, could, on certain kind of feast nights, would set like a 10-foot flaming ball rolling to start the festivities that would then light the bonfire on and cause the flaming sphere to dance around the crowd. But everyone in Nidum had some form of magic, even the humans. In fact, every human was connected to the earth in some kind of way. Even more. Hello. Welcome back to part 3 of episode 61 of the Chronicles of Nidum, run by us, the Dice of the Holders, streamed through Heavyweight Gaming. Right, yes, we do apologize. We are having technical issues that until probably OBS and the entire Zoom call is closed down, will probably in no way be rectified. So unfortunately, we are going to have to leave it there for the evening. I do apologize that we have to obviously finish at a kind of epic, in the middle of a big epic lore drop moment. However, there is a lot more lore to share, and this conversation will continue obviously next week. So please join us next weekend for episode 62 of the Chronicles of Nidum, in which we will learn much more about Quill and its apparent ability to go really fast, which I think was the best way of describing it. I can go really fast. Okay, cool. But yes, thank you very much to those who have watched. Thank you very much to those who will watch. I hope you did enjoy. I know we always enjoy running it for you guys. But yeah, please join us on Dice of the Beholder this week. If I can, I will convince everyone to come and look at the new walled town I have built on Valheim. But we will very probably, because we've started enjoying it again, play a lot more Fall Guys. If we can get it to work, you get to see me and Charlie do VR Phasmophobia.
Yeah, waiting on Oculus to get it shit together.
Yeah, there's an issue with the link cable, like getting everything set up at the moment.
Mm-hmm. But we will hopefully be able to do that very soon, and it's going to be terrifying. I can't wait. Actually, I'm really, really excited. But yes, please join us. Otherwise, obviously, stick around on Heavyweight Gaming. It's a wonderful community. There's lots of great games going on and lots of fantastic VODs for you to watch. I especially recommend the Fables. Is it the Tuesday night stream, AD? Yep, I especially recommend Fables Amongst Titans. It's fantastic. The world that AD and the others have built together is awesome. So please, yeah, if you haven't already, go check out all the previous episodes up on YouTube now. Yep. That's the one. But yeah, go back to the beginning because it's worth it. Trust me. Pop over onto Heavyweight Gaming YouTube and go watch the beginning of Fable Among Titans. And you might even see some historical mentions, especially if you look at the Patreon and the Arcane script, you might see some historical mentions of characters very familiar to me and Millie. Some pictures of, Silken Fae. But yes, apart from that, as always, take care, stay safe, wear a mask, don't go outside unless you have to, take care of yourselves, check in on your loved ones. We are almost through this.
Don't jinx us.
No, we are. Touch wood, we're almost through
There's a
this.
third wave coming, mate.
Yeah.
But apart from that, we love you guys, and we will see you next time.
Love you.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone. Good night, everybody.